When you punching up, it ain't about whether you can throw. It's how you take.
Mine. Let's get back to this money.
Sal's coming. There's gonna be some blood in our streets.
I know everything, Kanan.
You ain't going nowhere, because there ain't nowhere for you to go.
Gotta take care of each other. We all we got.
Just gonna be us and them.
So the stage is set after a confirmed total of 4 deaths in episode 9, with Jimmy, Renee, Freddy, and Cartier, and we're in for yet another bloodbath, because when the war begins, power wins, and the person who's at the center of attention at this moment in time is Raq. She's got a war on her hands after Marco's death, and as Unique said, there's gonna be blood on those streets, and so who's gonna make it to season 3? Now the Italians are only part of Raq's problems. Kanan looks like he's back on the corners, most likely helping Famous. Now very similar to the ending of season 1, Lou seems like he wants out of the game. But what changed? Because in episode 9, he was down for the cause, and where he was there for his brother. But this time, it's because of something he found out about Raq. Burke finds herself closing in on the truth, and we're gonna see her step to Kanan. And now Burke unfortunately has to go. And so similar to episode 9, I think we're in for yet another bloodbath, with plenty of death, twists and turns, and maybe a huge cliffhanger going into season 3. But we're gonna run through all things episode 10, breaking down the trailer scene by scene. So let's start with the synopsis. Now the title of episode 10 is If You Don't Know, Now You Know. And the synopsis reads, decidedly his own man, Kanan strays further from his mother and sets up shop on his own on the corners of South Jamaica. Worried about retaliation, Raq questions Unique. Lou's rift with Raq grows when he makes a discovery. Over the course of season 1 and 2, something which Raq has shown is her biggest downfall is her inability to take advice. And not taking advice as a parent on how to raise Kanan is one thing, but not hearing Marvin and Lou's warnings early in season 2 is definitely gonna cost Raq.
You're making big decisions quick. Maybe we need to take a minute.
Maybe we should press pause on the shit in Jersey until the dust settles. You know, let shit cool off for a minute.
So we can look at the events of Marvin sending Marco to kill Tony, Marco fucking up, and Unique making his moves to get back in the game. But this war with the Italians could have been avoided if Raq slowed down with her expansion, because there was no need to move into Jersey. So it all stems from the decision Raq made to move into the Italians' turf. And now Sal is making a move after Raq had Lou kill Jimmy in episode 9, and now it really is going to be a full-blown war. And one thing the Italians have is numbers, but Raq also made a call to get more backup of her own, and so we're going to see a hell of a lot of gunfire, maybe Sal Baselli having his last smoke before his death, just like Cartier. We're also going to see the aggressive side of Marvin return, something he should have done in episode 9 with Sam the Crackhead, which will have consequences of its own. But how this war ends with the Italians is yet to be seen, because Raq doesn't seem like she's in a great place, and who knows what's around the corner, because her enemies certainly run deep. Now, one person who will be playing a subtle but important role is Unique, and one thing I appreciate when it comes to Unique is, he's one of the realest characters. After all the shit Raq put him through in season 1, I think we could have all understood if he wanted some form of payback, and he's had plenty of opportunities to throw Raq under the bus with Sal Baselli. But even after what Raq did to Unique, there's a line which even Unique won't cross, regardless of what Raq did to him in the past, because one thing Unique isn't is a snitch. So we hear him saying Sal's coming and there's gonna be blood on those streets, and he ain't wrong, but this is also why Unique is secretly winning. He may have had a relatively quiet few episodes, but when he has appeared, he's looked calm, collected, and he looks like someone who's playing the long game of chess, thinking 3 moves ahead. In a character analysis of Kanan Stark, I mentioned how Kanan kept a cool head for someone who knew he'd been set up, which ended up with him losing 10 years, along with his son Sean, to the same man who sent him to prison. And Unique's chess moves are very similar. He's someone who's very calm and strategic, especially considering those who set him up are sitting right across him. But sooner or later, something will definitely have to give. Maybe not at the end of season 2, because there really isn't much time to play with, but definitely I see season 3, Raq and Unique having this battle for power. 2 alphas can never work under the same roof, and that's when I expect Unique's chess moves to come to fruition. So from this war with the Italians, I do expect the major characters to make it to season 3. Now, one thing which has been brewing ever since season 1 is this rift between Lou and Raq.
Sorry I'm late.
Late once, you're sorry. You late twice, you're sloppy. You late all the time like you just don't give a fuck.
From the beginning, Lou's behaved as if he doesn't give a fuck, and throughout season 2, he's focused more on music than the streets. But nobody can really question his loyalty when it comes to his family. He was there for Marvin, and he told Raq he's down. But this rift has been caused by something Lou's found out about Raq, and logically it makes sense if he's found out Kanan is Howard's son. There's also the element of Raq being Howard's CI when she was 16, which probably will be revealed at some stage. But I fully expect this Howard situation to come back and bite Raq, and if it is this Howard secret that Lou's found out, I can imagine it was Famous blabbing his mouth once again, because he did read the paternity results of Kanan being the son of MH. And Raq is definitely not happy. Shit seems like it's not going to plan like it did at the end of season 1. At the end of season 1, she was in total control. She was standing at the top, looking at everybody beneath her. But now she's throwing things across the room, and it seems like she's having to defend herself from threats. Now, when it comes to both Lou and Raq, one thing they both need to be careful of is past deaths haunting them. Scrappy's mom was nowhere to be seen in episode 9, but she made it clear she would take matters into her own hands if nobody did anything about Scrappy's death. And when it comes to Lou, I thought the road they'd take would be framing Cartier for Crown's death, but Lou and Raq decided to crush their enemy totally, so that option is no longer on the table, and so Crown's body could come back to haunt Lou like Scrappy's could do with Raq. Now, Kanan is someone who knew Howard was his father way before he read the paternity results. What reading the paternity results did was eliminate any doubts and force him to face the truth, a truth which Raq kept from him for 15 years. But where Howard and Raq have two different ideas of how to raise their son, Kanan's got his own mind, and we're gonna see him take yet another stash from the projects to help Famous. And so Kanan and Famous are gonna be back on the corners, and we all know what happened last time. We're also going to see Burke step into Kanan, and Detective Burke is making a habit of this. She's questioned everyone connected to Kanan Stark, but thanks to the help of Sam the Crackhead in episode 9, she's more closer than ever. The Crackhead, which by the way Marvin should have dealt with, but now Burke has to go. Both Howard and Kanan know she's an issue, and I wonder how Howard will deal with Burke, especially considering he's someone who's now on the righteous path and tapping back into his faith. But very similar to how we saw Raq asking Symphony to take Kanan away to safety, is this Howard doing the same at the end of season 2? We know there's going to be a full-blown war, but with Burke knowing the truth and the added element of Freddy being killed by Famous, who by the way Detective Howard warned Kanan about, he was a clown. I wonder if the roles are reversed with Howard taking Kanan to safety at the end of season 2. But we also know how Power love to manipulate these trailers, and with it being episode 10, expect some twists and turns. And so with that being said, that's a breakdown of episode 10's trailer, and an episode which will promise to be explosive, with plenty of blood on the streets, but one where I don't expect any of our major characters to die. So how will they leave it going into season 3? Drop all your predictions down below in the comment section, and of course if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.